Hello, Sim friends. This is Jurassic Snark, aka Jessica. And if you are watching this, you are my personal hero because this is my very first Sims 4 speed build on YouTube that I have ever uploaded. So it's very exciting for me. I know I'm a little late to the party, that people have been doing this for literally years, but it didn't even occur to me that this is a thing that you could do. And I've been playing The Sims since I was like probably 11 years old. I had the first Sims, and then I played The Sims 2 for like a decade. I actually skipped The Sims 3 because I couldn't get used to all the new stuff. But the Steam sale is on right now, so I literally just spent like $100 on all of the Sims 3 games and expansion packs and like one or two stuff packs. So I will be playing The Sims 3 now. But since The Sims 4 has come out, obviously the graphics are like really amazing, and I've really gotten into building. And so I have like all sorts of different buildings that I've done. I have a bunch of stuff up on the gallery, and you can find me. My origin ID and my gallery name is Jurassic_Snark. You can find that in the description below. So I have about 931 downloads so far. So I'm really hoping with this video, it'll push that up over 1,000 downloads. That would be really, really awesome. So, so subscribe and like and go find this on the gallery. You can look for hashtag Snark, or getting into what this build actually is, the Secret Garden. So this was a movie that I really, really enjoyed as a kid. I don't think I ever read the novel, but I remember the movie. I remember Maggie Smith. I remember the little boy on the wheelchair and going into the secret garden. And it was just like one of my favorite childhood movies. And so I was inspired recently to build a secret garden lot. And so I wanted to have a house on it just in case, you know, you wanted to play on it, or actually, I was thinking, you can see her in the bottom of the corner, at the bottom of the screen right there. I made like a dowager, like Maggie Smith character, and she loves gardening. She loves the outdoors, but she hates children. So I thought that was appropriate. And I thought it'd be really cool to have this lot so that you could play with like a character like her, a sim like her, and then maybe she would have like a ward that comes to live with her or something. So I made this a residential lot, but you could probably turn it into like a museum or a park instead. I think that would also work out really well. And you're probably thinking right now, like, where is the garden part of this? But I want to do the house first. So if you're really just interested in the secret garden part, you can probably skip to about like 15 minutes in. This is a really long video for my first video, but this was like a pretty intricate build. This is on the 50 by 50 lot in Willow Creek. It's 3 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. It's 338,000 simoleons. So either you're going to have to motherload quite a bit, or, you're just going to have to be rich to be able to afford this lot. And if you were like an old dowager, you would probably have the money. So in this video, it's just me building the house and then the garden. I'm going to have another video up soon for me furnishing the house. Since this was a secret garden, I didn't feel like that was like really important to put in this video, so I didn't do that. But so you can see here I'm having trouble with the chimney, but I finally figured it out. I tried to put it like inside a half-wall room, but that messed up the coloring, as you can see. I hate that. I wish that was like a glitch that they would fix. So I just ended up putting it on the top of the 2 stories. So I guess it looks pretty good like that. I don't know. I kind of would have liked it to be inside a half wall, but you live and you get over it. So this was based off, the house part is not based on the movie. I don't remember what the house part looks like in the movie at all, but I actually saw this really awesome stone mansion online. Like, since I've started getting into doing builds, I have started to like look at a bunch of architecture online and different houses that I want to build, and this was one of them. And so I decided I would use it and mix it in with my secret garden build. And speaking of the secret garden, actually, this part drove me crazy. I don't know why the roof pieces would not snap to my roof. It was driving me crazy. So I had to use the 9 button to lift them up. the 9 key. Actually, I have to use Control 9 because if I don't, it just centers on my lot and it really drives me crazy. But you can see I'm trying over and over again to get it right, and every time I like move it, I have to get a new one. I have to sell it and get a new one because it's just it's such a pain in the butt. And yes, I know that one's backwards. I fix it later. So I actually edited out adding all of the roofing decorations because it took so long. It was stupid. It took me like 20 minutes just to put all that stuff. And then for some reason, those 2 blank spaces, like, it would not work. I could not get them to place. So I just did what any good simmer would do, and I covered it up with some low-laying yellow flowers because that's what they're for. They're for putting things on your roof. And they're like a little awkward because the roof is such like a high pitch, but I added in some like grass to make it seem not as terrible. So I feel like it works, especially if you don't get too close. So sometimes there are problems in The Sims that you just have to solve because it can be glitchy, it can be weird, and if you're someone who builds in The Sims, you know exactly what I'm talking about, like roofs clipping in and that kind of stuff. And actually, I had that problem too in this one. There's actually a 3rd floor, but it's not, I didn't bother decorating it. I didn't make it usable just because the roof is clipping in weird, and no matter what I did, I couldn't get it to work. I actually edited that part out too. So I'm curious. I would love for you to leave in the comments what your favorite childhood movie is. I'm not saying The Secret Garden was my favorite, but you know, it was up there. I definitely watched it more than once. There was back in the days when you would like actually go to a video store, like a Blockbuster or something smaller, and like rent VHS. So this is definitely something that we rented from the video store more than once. So I'm curious, you know, what kind of movies do you remember from your childhood that you would like to see a build from? And I'll see if I can do that for you. That would be awesome. So leave a comment, and I will definitely see if I can make that happen. So this is my first speed build. Like I said, this is my first voiceover ever. So excuse me if it's a little awkward, if I pause a lot, if you can hear me breathing and stuff. This is the first time I've used Audacity to make a speed build, so and to do a voiceover. So I'm kind of learning. There's a steep learning curve. It's 4th of July weekend. I had a 4-day weekend. Right now it's Monday night, and I like learned how to use Audacity and learned how to use HitFilm Express, the video editing software, literally overnight. So I kind of like figured this all out like this whole weekend. On like Saturday, I built it. On Saturday night, I learned how to use HitFilm Express. On Sunday, I figured out how to use Audacity, and then started editing the video. And now it's Monday night, and I'm recording my voiceover. Hopefully I get better and faster at this stuff so that I can produce more videos, because I'd really like to do at least one a week. I do have a full-time job. I manage a fundraising office for a big environmental organization, and so I don't have a whole lot of extra time during the week, but in the weekends I should be able to get one of these out every weekend. I have a lot of ideas coming up, some really cool ideas for stuff in the fall I really like to do, but also like some historical builds that I haven't seen anybody else do. So I'd really be interested in that. So if you do leave something down in the comments about, you know, a childhood movie or something like that, I'm not going to do Disney, and I'm not going to do Harry Potter because it's been done so many times, like, and I can't do it better than the other folks have. Like, Hatsie is so amazing. There's no way I would be able to come up with things, you know, more creatively than she does. If you haven't seen some of her builds, they're absolutely ridiculous. You should definitely check it out. She's definitely one of my favorite builders on The Sims. For The Sims 4. I also really love Soap Sims and Great Symphony and Sims Cash. I definitely love all of them. And Devin Bumpkin, he's really good too. So you should check all of their channels out because I definitely get a lot of inspiration from some of the stuff that they do. But I would say probably most of my inspiration comes from just like ideas that I have on a day-to-day basis, you know, like especially because of like the items, and especially ever since I figured out debug and like all of the hidden objects, like the cheat for hidden objects, and like the cheat that you can ignore gameplay unlocks. Oh my gosh, I see items all the time now that I'm just inspired by and that I want to do, so that I want to like base builds off of. So that's definitely a place that I get a lot of inspiration from. But also just like life and, like my childhood and that kind of stuff. That's really what The Sims is all about, is being able to like live out fantasies and that kind of thing. Like a lot of the builds and the let's plays that I see are about, like my dream house, my dream life. That's like what Deligracy does all the time. So, and like the Barbie, right? Like the Barbie let's play that she has, is totally based off of that. So that's totally where I get a lot of my inspiration from. So I definitely did like all of the, I edited out the, like, putting the wallpaper on the walls. I edited out a lot of the windows, like placing a lot of the windows, especially in the front of the house, just because it took me a long time to kind of figure out like what my, I don't know what you would call it, like my window palette was, what kind of windows I wanted to use. And so, I didn't want to waste a bunch of time since this video is already like really, really long. So I also want to talk about, I am really, really excited for the Eco Living Stuff Pack that's going to be coming out at some point. I don't know when it's coming out, but I'm really, really excited for it. Not going to lie, not thrilled about laundry winning the vote. Not super thrilled. I am definitely one of those people that voted for Off the Grid. So second place, isn't first place. So, you have to live with it. You have to learn to live with it. And I'm sure the pack will still be really, really good. And I know what you're going to say, that there's a bunch of modders who have already made mods for all of the stuff that, we could have gotten and we didn't get, like the preserves and that kind of stuff. I'm not someone who does a lot of mods. I don't have any custom content. I don't have any mods on this game right now. I've modded other games. Like I also play Skyrim. I also play Ark. But, and I definitely have mods for those, but I just feel like custom content and mods like bug up your game, especially when they're releasing a pack every 5 seconds for this game. Like, this year, like how many packs have there been just this year alone, just in 2017? So, and what there will be. And so I just hate the idea of having to like update my mods, all the time and getting the updates and having to turn them off and turn them back on again. It just is not really appealing to me. So I really love how I did the floors right here. I've never really done floors like this before, but I just got the idea all of a sudden. So I kind of overused the idea. I think I did it in like 3 rooms of the house, just on this floor, because I really thought that was cool. So I kind of went back and forth about what like I wanted the color schemes to be in some of these rooms. Honestly, this build isn't really about the house. It's about the garden. And again, you can skip to 15 minutes in, so we're getting close. To see that if you're not really interested in the house. So I didn't, spend a whole lot of time, poring over what I wanted to do or how I wanted it to look inside the house, because, that's not really what it's about. It's called The Secret Garden, not The Secret Garden House. So I love this fireplace. I think this is new with the vampire pack, I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is. I love it. It's bigger. It's just more grand, It's like really highly stylized, and I think it works really perfectly. So you can see the floor plan. Although I really like the idea of having like a big open, hallway staircase. I also wanted most of the second floor to be usable space, especially since I lost all the third floor, just because like the roof clipping, and I didn't really intend for it to be a 3rd-story building. I would really love to do a secret attic. That would be awesome. But that's not what this build was about. So that's not what I did. But I just wanted it all to be usable space. I wanted the master bedroom to have an ensuite, and actually the pink bedroom is supposed to be the master bedroom, that one right there. Even though the blue bedroom is much bigger. I don't know. I just kind of pictured the dowager to live in the pink bedroom. I don't know why. I just like that. I remember there's a Tennessee Williams play called The Pink Bedroom. Yeah. Yeah, I thought about doing the pink carpeting in that room, but it was just way too much. It was like blinding. Not going to work out. So it looks like we're probably coming to the end of the house section of this build. I think I'm going to do like a little bit of landscaping, like a little bit of terrain painting. I really can't wait for there to be terrain tools. Like I remember that in The Sims 2. That was awesome to be able to like make your own ponds and that sort of stuff. And I know, if you go into debug, you can find the fishing ponds and that sort of thing, but it's not the same because it's just that little circle, and there's no detail to it. And so I know that you can do the pools and that kind of stuff, but really like what we're doing is finding ways around it instead of just like having terrain tools. Like just give us terrain tools, Sims. Seriously, like get me a guru on the line because it's really frustrating. And I know I'm not the only person that thinks that. I just hate that you have to like build a pool or a fountain and then, put rocks and plants all over it. Like just give me terrain tools. I would be so excited to have that. I miss that so much. It was a really, really cool feature. Yeah. So it also sounds like we're going to be getting pets soon. I know that that's like a rumor in the mill that's been going around. So I'm really excited about that. I hope that we get more than just dogs and cats. I think it's going to just be dogs and cats probably is what I am expecting. But I would really love for it to be more than that. And I know I'm not the only person who feels this way. I would really love for there to be farm animals. That would be so cool to be able to have like a garden and a farm and then have little farm animals like cows and chickens and that kind of stuff. That would be really, really great. So you can see I kind of walled off a big section of the backyard. This is where the secret garden is going to be. I think that's how I remember it being in the movie. Is it just kind of like a big walled off section with a door that's kind of hidden. And you'll see later I put in a lot of landscaping to kind of hide the door. And it took me a second to pick this door, but this door is perfect because it's kind of worn in the front. This is the door that comes with the movie Hangout Stuff pack. And I just really, really love that. I love all the stuff that comes with that pack. And I'm actually going to be doing a build with that pack coming up pretty soon. It's probably going to be the next one that I do. I don't want to give it away because I like surprises. And I also like keeping my ideas to myself until I'm able to get them out there. So I used a lot of stuff from the vampire pack, and then in the house, and then the romantic garden stuff pack in the garden itself. So you'll see, like, outside of the garden, I purposefully made it kind of ugly and overgrown. You can see I'm using some terrain paint here to make it darker and kind of uglier. Like, it's not very well kept. They haven't had someone taking care of the grounds of the house. So I was kind of thinking, like, the story behind this, her husband died and he was like the only person that she really ever connected with, and the garden was kind of his idea, and so that's really the only part of the house that she cares about and that she bothers to take care of. So you'll see I love this. I use the milk jugs with the trees coming out to make kind of like an overgrown, to add to the already overgrown fountain that we got in the romantic stuff pack. And I skipped out, you see I put like ivy all along the wall. I edited that out just because, again, this video is like really long, but also you already know how to do that, I'm sure. And then I added just a couple of flowers around the door, so it's kind of like a hint, right? It's kind of like, hey, there's a secret garden back here. Shh, come figure it out, come take a look at it. So I thought that was kind of cool. I also sized up a lot of the kind of unkempt bushes that we have using the bracket key. And I put in a lot of like the kind of brown, yellow trees, again, just to make it look like, everything is just not very well kept. It's like dead and dying. The people who live here don't care about how it looks at all. And I also do a really cool thing with the grass too. You'll see in a minute. I sized that up and that looks really cool. I never really thought about sizing up the grass before, but I really, really like it. It makes it seem like, it's like knee length or like waist deep grass that you'd have to like, wade through to be able to get to where you wanted to go. So I just thought that was really cool. I've never thought of doing that before, and it just kind of occurred to me. And then those vines, that's also from the vampire stuff pack. So if you don't have that, you're not going to be able to see those. If you don't have the vampire pack, or if you don't have the romantic garden stuff pack, you're not going to be able to download this and have it be anything meaningful for you, because I really relied so heavily on those packs. Like half of the stuff in this build is going to be missing if you don't have those packs. So it's really important for you to have those. I have all of the packs, which is awesome. Right now in my life, I am able to afford all of the packs when they come out. Even though definitely like last year and the year before, I was waiting until there was a sale. Kind of like Steam right now, the Steam sale that ends on Wednesday. I've totally been taking advantage of that too. Like I said, I spent a ton of money on, probably too much, on The Sims 3. I've only played for maybe like an hour or two, but I really, really like it. I have a pretty good PC that allows me to run most games on their highest settings right now. We'll see how long that lasts, but so it looks really, really good, you know, and the gameplay in The Sims 3 is really, really awesome. So here I'm just kind of picking out all the stuff that I want to use from the garden stuff pack. Yeah, the magic wishing well I wanted to put back there, so that, you know, there's like a reason for it to be secret. It's like a secret magic garden. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then I use these trellises to make an entrance that you can kind of walk through. And I did play test it, so all of this is walkable with your sim, with your Sims. They will be able to walk through this part of the garden. I play tested it. All that, like that beginning sequence from the video, you can totally walk through that with your Sims. So I think it's really important to like play test things before you upload them, just because, you know, if you can't use it, like what's the point? You know, like what a bummer to download something and then not actually be able to use it. So there's kind of two sections to the garden. There's a big fountain section that she's going to be the center of. And you can see me trying to do a fountain. It took me a little while. I don't know why I'm like kind of a dope sometimes when it comes to this sort of thing. It took me way longer to like build this than it should have. I should have just made like a big square and then deleted the middle. But, you know, I like to do things the hard way, I guess. And then my fountain key was like, it was glitching out the fountain tool a little bit. You can see right there. I don't know what that's all about. I've never seen it do that before. So I'm not really sure why. But like I said, and like you know probably, The Sims can be super glitchy. So I decided that 8 fish in the fountain was way too much, and I reduced it to 4. And then I had to fix it so that the water would actually land in the fountain and not, you know, on that centerpiece. And I think it looks a lot better this way. I think it looks really, really good. And then I'm going to change the water to the green that we got with the Get Together stuff pack. And then here you'll see I changed the terrain paint to be kind of fuzzy, to be less opaque, to be more transparent, because I think this garden is really old and I wanted the rocks to not be, you know, completely opaque. I wanted them to look worn down and grown over. And I think I actually managed to achieve that effect. And then you'll see I'm using a bunch of the stuff from the Romantic Garden Stuff Pack. I love those tall flowers. I think they're irises. I love those. I think those are so awesome. They look so good. And they're so pretty. And there's so many different colors. And I think that's one of the things that I really like about the Romantic Garden Stuff Pack is that, you know, everything has so many different colors, so many different choices. And I know that's something that, you know, Simmers really complain about a lot. And some of the other things is that like the color palette isn't, you know, very variable. There's not a whole lot of choice. So that's something that I really, really liked about the stuff pack for the Romantic Garden stuff, just because there are so many color choices, almost too many. Some of them don't really make sense, but you know, better to have like 12 choices and have 2 of them be kind of weird than to have like 3 choices. So like the counters in the vampire stuff pack, which I'm still frustrated about. There's only 3 choices. It doesn't make any sense. Like there must have been a deadline or something and they like couldn't spend any more time making counters. I don't know why. It's such a like, ugh. Oh well, what are you gonna do? So I'm adding some flowers to the centerpiece of the fountain just to make it look, you know, a little bit more wild, a little bit more overgrown. I kind of hesitated to make the fountain green because I thought maybe that was like too much. You know, I didn't want it to look completely undercarried kept, you know, like that nobody was paying any attention to at all. But once I added in all of the lily pads and that kind of stuff, and the reeds, I thought that it actually looked really, really good. So I'm adding in some more trees. I love those lion fountains. I think those are really, really cool. And then I'm going to add in some more terrain paint and have a couple more garden things. And it looks like we're coming to the end. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you managed to get this far, you are amazing. Like I said, this is my very first YouTube video speed build for The Sims 4. Definitely not the last. So hopefully I'll be able to, like I said, get a video out once a week. I would really like to be able to do that. In the comments, let me know what kind of builds you like to see. What are some things that you've never seen before? You know, what are some things that you've never seen any other Simmers do? I would really be interested in doing that kind of stuff for you. I don't want to do things that people have already done. You know, that's not something that I'm super into. And I haven't seen anybody else. I watch a lot of the videos, and I haven't seen anybody else do a secret garden. So that was one of the things that made me really want to do it and make it my first video. So again, you know, down in the comments, let me know what you would like to see, and I will definitely do that. Definitely check out my gallery on the Sims 4 gallery, my profile. Again, it's JessRassic_Snark, which you saw in the very beginning of the video. Capital J S Rassic_Snark. Yes, like Jurassic Park, because that's one of my favorite movies. Maybe I could do a Jurassic Park build. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how I would be able to do that. Never mind. Don't ask me to do that because I have no clue how I would ever get that done. Oh my gosh. That's the new expansion pack. That's what I'm voting for. Forget eco living. I don't care about that at all. I want a dinosaur expansion pack. That's something they've never done before in The Sims. I would totally be down for that. But I am really excited about eco living, and I can't wait for that to come out. And I don't know when it's going to come out. I think probably like September, October, somewhere in there. So that'll be really cool. I can't wait to use that to do some builds. So yeah, this is pretty much the end. We're almost done here, so I'm going to stop talking pretty soon. Please like this video. Please subscribe so that, you know, I can get more followers. I can get more stuff done, because if I could spend more time doing this kind of stuff, I would really love to do that. So help me out. Like and subscribe. I would definitely appreciate that. Again, you'll be like my literal hero if you do that for me. So, oh, I love these ones too. And I love those big pink bushes. I think those are so cool. And those also came with the romantic garden stuff pack. And again, I'm using those irises. I just love those so much. I can't stop myself. They're so cool. But anyway, so, oh, also, I would really love to know, you know, what are some things that you want to see in The Sims? So I know we definitely have eco living coming, we need to have pets coming, but, you know, what is the next big thing for you? Is it university? Is it pets? Is it witches, werewolves? You know, what is the big thing that you want to see next? Leave that down in the comments. Your favorite childhood movie, leave that down in the comments. What you want to see me build next, leave that down in the comments. You all are so amazing. I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching. And enjoy the rest of your 4th of July holiday weekend.